Hello everyone, this is Yas. Welcome back to my YouTube channel YasTech, a go-to place for the tech explanation. In this video, I'm looking forward to explore the most essential topic in networking and data communication, modes of communication. Have you people ever wondered that how data is transmitted between devices in the network? Well, you are about to find out this one. Hit the subscribe button and let's start it now. Yes, what is the mode of communication? The mode of communication defines the method or the ways of communication. It tells us about that how data is transmitted from sender to the receiver inside the network. After understanding the concept of mode of communication, now we are moving on to discuss what are the different modes of communication. The modes of communication can be divided into three different categories: simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. The first one is called simplex. It is very important to understand what is simplex. Simplex mode of communication is very simple method of communication among all the modes of communication. Secondly, it is unidirectional. It means that the data is traveling from sender to receiver only. There is no communication other way around. Similarly, whenever one device sends data, the other device on the other end receives the data. If we talk about simplex communication, we can describe it well in terms of broadcasting, in which one device is sending the message in the network while other devices are receiving that particular message. The communication mechanism in the simplex mode of communication can be well understood with the help of this diagram. In this diagram, there is sender which is only sending the data, while at the second end there is a receiver that is receiving data from the sender. And this communication is taking place in single direction only. Well, there are several examples in the real life where the simplex mode of communication is taking place. For example, the communication in devices like mouse, fire alarm, keyboard, TV antenna, printer, etc. all are using the communication mechanism of simplex mode. Some of the important features of simplex mode of communication are given as: it is the reliable method of communication. You can send data from sender to receiver with sense of feeling that your data has been delivered to the receiver. Another feature of this communication is it is very simple method of communication. Third feature is it is cost effective, and finally it is ideal for broadcasting. Whenever you are going to send one message to the group of people, then simplex is the better choice of communication. Now we are going to discuss the limitation of simplex mode of communication. The first limitation of simplex mode of communication is that it is unidirectional communication. It means that the message is sent from sender to receiver in single direction only. The second limitation of simplex mode of communication is that it doesn't guarantee whether the message has been received or not at the receiver end. After discussing the limitation of simplex mode of communication, we are now shifting our focus toward the half duplex mode of communication. The half duplex mode of communication is the type of communication in which both sender and receiver are allowed to send data to each other but not at the same time. The half duplex mode of communication uses the concept of line turnaround. It means that the line will be used by only one device, and whenever it becomes free, then other device can only use it. The channel capacity of the half duplex mode of communication can be found by using the following equation, in which the capacity is equal to bandwidth multiplied by the propagation delay. Look at some of the salient features of half duplex mode of communication. Then you will find out that it is bidirectional communication and it is less expensive in comparison to the full duplex mode of communication. And the last feature of this communication is that it is efficient. The concept of communication in half duplex mode can be well understood by this diagram. In this diagram, we are having two devices A and B. Whenever A sends message, then B waits and receives the message at that point of time, and whenever A finishes the communication, then B is allowed to send the data, and at the same point of time, A waits and receives the messages. In this type of communication, you have seen that both devices are sending data to each other but not at the same time. Some of the well-known examples of half duplex mode of communication are walkie-talkie, browsing the internet, and USB communication. If you closely look at the communication mechanism adopted by all these three concepts, you will understand that in all these devices, the data communication takes place at both directions but not at the same time. The half-duplex mode of communication is also not free from certain limitations, like it doesn't allow the simultaneous transmission. There is also a delay between the transmission and reception of message, and similarly, a proper coordination is required for the devices to communicate with each other. We are about to discuss the last mode of communication, which is known as the full duplex mode of communication. In this type of communication, both sending and receiving devices are allowed to send messages to each other at the same time. This type of communication allows that the channel capacity must be shared between devices physically or through the wires. Similarly, the channel capacity in this type of communication can be obtained by using the following equation. In this equation, the channel capacity is equal to 2 times our bandwidth multiplied with propagation delay. The concept of full duplex mode can be well understood with the help of this diagram. In this diagram, both sender and receiver are sending data at the same time by utilizing the full capacity of the entire medium. Some of the well-known examples of full duplex mode of communication are mobile communication or telephonic communication. In both types of communication, we can see both sender and receiver are sending and receiving data at the same time. Let's have a look at some of the important features of full duplex mode of communication. This mode of communication is the fast mode of communication because both sending and receiving devices are allowed to send data simultaneously to each other. It is efficient. It means that there is no any significant delay whenever devices are sending data to each other. And this is the reliable method of communication among all the modes of communication. And finally, this mode of communication can be well suited for the video conferencing and audio video calling. Moving on to discuss the limitation of full duplex mode of communication. Although we know the full duplex mode of communication is fast, accurate and reliable mode of communication, but there are certain limitations which hamper the adoption of full duplex mode of communication, like this mode of communication requires high bandwidth, and similarly it is expensive to implement this type of communication. Furthermore, this type of communication suffers from the complexity. It's very complex to manage both sending and devices at both ends. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe my channel.